Specifying variables in Adept. In this tutorial, I will explain how to specify variables in Adept. After you load your data into Adept, the next step is to tell Adept what variables in the loaded datasets correspond to the fields required to produce the output. Each module of Adept has its own set of fields, but the process of defining the fields is similar across the modules. I will use the Adept Poverty module for this tutorial. The main form with variable fields is located below the Dataset tab. In order to establish the correspondence between the fields and the variables in the loaded datasets, click on a field. When the cursor is positioned in the field on the main form, the status bar shows the description and the requirements for the field. For example, now, when the cursor is positioned in the Household ID field, the status bar shows that Household ID is a required field and that this field can contain several variables. The tab above the main form changes from datasets to variables. The Variables tab contains the names and the labels of the variables in the loaded datasets. Drag and drop the selected variables into the corresponding field. Note that the type of selected variable, numeric or string, and its name and label are shown in the status bar. You can search for any part of the variable name or label using the Search Filter field. For example, typing UR selects variables with names or labels that contain the string UR. In our case, 3 variables satisfy this condition. I drag and drop the variable urban into the urban field on the main form. To clear the search filter, delete all the characters entered into the field. You can also use a drop-down menu in the field to locate the corresponding variable. I select the variable consump from the list in the welfare aggregate field. Alternatively, you can just type the variable name into the field. I type region into the regions field. We recommend using the drag and drop method from the Variable tab because this method is the most convenient and it reduces the possibility of errors when entering the variable names. Once the fields on the main variables form are filled, you can select the tables and graphs to generate the output. This is explained in the tutorial, Selecting Tables and Graphs.